All right, so today we are going to be doing a deep dive into the XPeng X9.
Yeah, this one should be interesting.
It is this Chinese electric MPV. It's
Huh?
making a lot of noise in the auto industry.
Yeah, and it seems like they're really challenging what we think of when we think of like MPVs, It's not just practical, but it's luxurious and performance and cutting-edge tech all wrapped up in this like futuristic design.
Yeah, I'm looking at these articles here, and I'm seeing Starship design and record-breaking sales, like right off the bat.
Wow.
So let's unpack this and figure out what is making the X9 such a phenomenon.
I think it's kind of a reflection of what we're seeing more broadly in the Chinese auto market, right? Like new brands, XPeng being one of them, are really becoming major players in this EV space.
Yeah, and they are doing it with a focus on family too, which makes sense, right? There's a growing demand for those kind of larger, spacious, techy vehicles.
Absolutely, yeah. They're hitting that sweet spot, I think. Family and premium driving experience.
Okay, so the X9 launched January 1st of this year, and we've already got 5 variants of this thing.
Wow.
With the X9 610 Max being the latest one, launched in September.
Okay.
Prices range from about 50,800 to 59,000 US dollars, so you're looking at that premium MPV segment.
And I mean, that pricing strategy seems to be working for them, right? Some of these articles are saying they had 20,000 units delivered in just 10 months.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's a record for high-end electric 7-seaters, and it translates to over 50% of the market share in China's premium electric MPV segment.
That's a pretty clear sign they're doing something right.
For sure.
But what is it? What is it about the X9 that's really resonating with consumers? Is it that spaceship design? Is it all the luxury features?
Well, it's got to be a combination of things, but let's start with the design.
Okay.
That's definitely an eye catcher. The
Yeah.
articles are describing it as sleek, aerodynamic, futuristic. Think angular lines, a closed-off front grille, and this really unique lighting signature that really sets it apart from, what we're used to, these boxy MPVs.
Yeah, I'm looking at some pictures here, and it really does. It has a very distinctive look, almost like a spaceship gliding down the road.
Yeah.
It's definitely not your typical minivan,
Exactly, and I think that's a big part of the appeal, right? It's different.
Yeah.
And they're offering colors too, like Dark Night Black, New Moon Silver, Starburst Gold, and Nebula White.
Those are pretty cool names.
Very evocative, right?
Yeah.
Luxury and adventure.
So it's less about being chauffeured around and more about being like a stylish family cruiser.
Right, exactly. It's like
Yeah.
you're projecting this image of a family that's tech-savvy, adventurous, a little bit ahead of the curve.
Yeah, like we're going places.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's step inside this thing.
Right, okay.
Because the interior is where the X9 really shines.
Yeah, all of these articles are raving about the luxurious, tech-filled cabin. It's all about into that whole experience. The X9 has this 17.3-inch central touchscreen. It runs on XPeng's XOS operating system,
Oh, yeah.
powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8295 chipset.
Now that is serious processing power.
Yeah, I mean, you usually find that
你要
on
小
like
朋友
high-end smartphones.
Exactly.
So it's not just
好，
your
去
basic
滨江公园。
navigation and entertainment. It's a whole
好的。
suite of
我们去第几
connected
个？
第一个。
services,
开始
apps,
导
and
航。
customization options.
So they've got this 17.3
开始导航。
inch touchscreen. They've got a
以为你选
10.25
择
inch
第一条路
digital
线，
instrument
开始为你
cluster.
导航。
and then a 23 speaker
Wow.
X Opera entertainment system.
It's an immersive experience.
你也可以打开
It
懂车
really
帝
is,
搜
you
索
know.
小鹏
I mean,
X9，
it's
这里
clear
面
that
有
they're
详细的
really
车型价
pushing
格
what
等
we
信息。
expect
Right.
from an MPV's interior.
Yeah, it's that blend of luxury, comfort, and technology that we don't really see a lot in this segment.
Right, but it's not just about the looks and the comfort though. The X9 is built on XPeng's SEPA 2.0 platform,
Okay.
which should make for a smooth, stable ride.
Yeah. Yeah, and the top trim, that comes with a really powerful dual motor setup too.
Okay.
So you've got a 235 kilowatt front motor
Wow.
and a 135 kilowatt rear motor,
So
generating a combined output of 370 kilowatts and 640 nm of torque.
okay, so break that down for me. Like, what does that actually mean in terms of?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of power
Okay.
for any family vehicle. It
Yeah.
means you get a 0 to 100 kilometer acceleration time of just 5.7 seconds.
That's fast.
Yeah, that's quicker than some sports cars.
Wow.
It's pretty remarkable how they've managed to like blend the spaciousness and practicality of an MPV with, the performance of something much sportier.
Yeah, and it's not just about like raw power either.
Right.
The X9 also has four-wheel steering,
Okay.
which gives it a surprisingly tight turning radius of just 5.4 meters.
Think about, trying to park this thing in a
Yeah.
tight spot. That four-wheel steering really helps. It makes a difference with the agility and just how easy it is to handle.
So it's not just about getting from point A to point B, it's about making that journey enjoyable,
Right.
effortless,
Exactly.
whether you're in the city or cruising down the highway.
And that's where the X9's advanced driver assistance system comes in,
Okay,
the XNGP.
what's that all about?
Well, it's packed with cameras, sensors, and AI, and it's designed to help with driving, both on the highway and in the city.
So it can like handle lane changes and speed adjustments and stuff?
Yeah, even object detection. They've got a valet parking system that can actually remember parking spots
Really?
and park the car for you or retrieve it.
Wow.
It's pretty clear they're really pushing the boundaries of what's possible with driver assistance technology.
Yeah.
Making the X9 not only more convenient, but potentially a lot safer.
So, I mean, all this makes me wonder, like, what does this do to the driving experience, though? Does it feel like you're just kind of along for the ride?
Well, actually, one of these articles is a first-hand account of a journalist who actually got to test drive the X9 in China.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that can give us a little bit more insight into what it's actually like behind the wheel.
Awesome. Let's dig into that next.
So this journalist, they tested out the top of the line X9 640 Performance Max,
Okay.
the all-wheel drive one, and they were really impressed with that XNGP system.
Yeah.
Especially on busy suburban roads.
So it's not just like a highway autopilot, then it can handle like city driving.
Yeah, those trickier, more unpredictable situations. And they actually said that the XNGP system was like the main reason they would pick the X9.
Wow.
Which says a lot,
Yeah, that's a big endorsement
It is, it really is.
for the system.
It shows how well it performs, how much it adds to that whole driving experience.
They did mention, though, that in some situations, like complex intersections
Right.
or U-turns, the system might, hesitate a little bit, and the driver would need to take over.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, we're not quite at that point where we can just fully hand over control to the AI.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And the journalists, they emphasize that point.
Yeah.
The driver still needs to be paying attention, ready to take over if needed. But overall, they were very positive about it.
Yeah.
The XNGP's capabilities and how it can make driving safer, less stressful.
Less stressful, especially on like a family road trip.
For sure.
Which, speaking of that, they also had the interesting things to say about, the X9's comfort and spaciousness.
They loved those zero gravity seats
Yeah.
in the second row, saying they could really relax
Yeah.
and enjoy the ride, even just on their test drive.
Yeah, so
And they were also impressed by that entertainment system, which, 21.4-inch screen.
that's huge.
Yeah, and 23 speakers.
It sounds like they've really created this vehicle that caters to everyone.
Exactly.
Driver and all the passengers.
Yeah, a premium experience.
Everybody.
Everyone.
All right, so I want to shift gears a little bit here.
Okay.
One thing that I noticed in these articles was this new extended range electric vehicle system that XPeng is working on,
Oh, interesting.
the Kunpeng super electric system.
What's that all about?
So it sounds like they're realizing that while EVs are great, for a lot of people,
Right.
there's still situations where having that extended range can be really helpful.
But sure.
A real advantage.
Absolutely, yeah. And it seems like they're trying to address some of those concerns that people have with traditional hybrids. So it's designed to mostly function as an electric car,
Okay.
with the combustion engine there just acting as a generator to extend the range.
Gotcha.
So it's not the main power source.
So you're getting the benefits of the electric driving.
Right.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
But you've got that backup if you need to go on a longer journey.
Exactly.
Or if you're somewhere where there's not a lot of charging stations, and the fast charging capabilities of this thing are pretty impressive.
Yeah, they're claiming a 5C charge rating.
Okay, so what does that even mean?
That means you can charge from 10 to 80% in just 12 minutes.
That's wild.
It's fast.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
Especially for ERVs because, one of the drawbacks has been that slow charging.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like they're really pushing the boundaries here
Yeah.
with this new system.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if this is like a hint at where they're headed in the future. Maybe a more diversified approach
Yeah.
to powertrains.
Right. Catering to more people
Exactly.
with different needs.
Yeah, that's definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure.
Okay, so circling back to the X9 specifically,
Yeah.
we've seen those spy pics of it being tested in Sydney, and there's been a lot of talk about it potentially launching in Australia.
Yeah, and one of the articles actually mentioned that
Yes.
the local distributor, True EV,
Okay.
has been flooded with interest
Wow.
in the X9.
So it seems like Australians are pretty excited about this thing,
Yeah, they are.
which, I mean, it's not that surprising.
Right.
Australians love their cars.
Big car culture.
Yeah, and they're embracing EVs more and more.
They are.
So, I mean, the X9, it's got that style, that technology, that practicality. It's a hard combination to find.
It is.
It's really interesting to see this Chinese designed
Right.
and manufactured vehicle generating so much excitement,
Yeah.
on the other side of the world.
It really speaks to that global appeal of EVs.
Yeah.
And XPeng's ability to really create these products that resonate with a lot of different people.
But they're not just facing competition from like traditional car makers.
Right.
They're going up against other Chinese brands too, like LDV.
Oh, okay.
They're also entering the Australian market
Mm-hmm.
with their MIFA 9 electric MPV.
So it's a battle of the Chinese electric MPVs?
It is, yeah.
Down under.
It'll be interesting to see how
Yeah.
that plays out.
For sure.
You've got these two relatively new players, shaking up this segment that's usually dominated by Japanese and European brands.
Yeah, it's a sign of how much things are changing,
Yeah.
In the car world.
Yeah.
Chinese automakers, they're not just playing catch up anymore.
Right.
They're innovating, they're leading the charge.
And the X9 is a perfect example of that.
It really is.
It's not just about copying,
Right.
what other companies are doing. It's about pushing the boundaries
Yeah.
with design, technology, performance.
And that ambition, it goes beyond the X9 too, XPeng has this whole lineup of EVs.
Yeah, they've got the G6 SUV.
Right, and then that upcoming G9.
Right, the larger 3-row SUV.
Yeah.
And then there's the flying cars
Oh, yeah?
that they're working on.
I mean, they've got a pretty grand vision for the future
They really do.
of transportation.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to take risks,
Yeah.
explore new possibilities.
It's exciting to watch what they're doing.
Sure.
But for now, let's stay grounded.
All right.
Let's focus on the X9.
Okay.
One thing that keeps coming up that these articles keep mentioning is their focus on intelligent driving technology.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're putting a lot of their effort into developing and refining this XNGP system.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking about covering all of China with it
Wow.
by the third quarter of this year.
That's ambitious.
It is, yeah.
And aiming for like an urban autonomous driving experience comparable to what they have on the highways
Wow.
by 2025.
Ambitious goals.
It really is.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're going all in
They are.
on autonomous driving. But what does that mean for the average driver?
Yeah.
How will this technology actually change the way we experience driving?
Well, one of these articles actually gets into that a little bit,
Yeah.
how autonomous driving technology might change things,
Yeah.
especially for a family vehicle like the X9.
Right. Let's explore that.
Okay.
I'm curious to see what they have to say about how, this could change family road trips,
Yeah.
daily commutes, all that. So this article, it's painting this picture of the future where, like, family road trips, they're less about the driving and more about just the experience.
Yeah. I mean, imagine like long journeys where the car just handles everything,
Yeah.
you know? The navigation, the driving on the highway, you're free to just relax, connect with your family, maybe get some work done.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Especially like for people who hate those long drives.
Yeah.
But what about like daily commutes?
Yeah, those short trips. Yeah.
They could become more enjoyable too.
Really?
More productive.
Uh,
Okay, imagine using your commute time to catch up on emails, listen to a podcast, maybe even take a nap,
Wow.
all while the car is doing the driving for you.
That would definitely change things.
Yeah, no more road rage, just pure relaxation and productivity.
But I mean, obviously, there's still challenges
Right, yeah.
before we can like fully rely on this technology.
Absolutely. Yeah, the article, it mentioned some of those challenges, like
Yeah.
making sure these systems are reliable and safe.
Right.
In all kinds of weather, all kinds of traffic.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there are the ethical and legal questions too.
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah. Like, who's responsible if something goes wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's complicated.
it is.
But I think it's clear that this technology, it has the potential to really change the way we travel, especially for families.
Okay, so we've talked about, the X9's spacious interior, the comfortable seats, but what about cargo space?
Yeah, can it actually like handle all the stuff that families need?
Right, because family vacations
Right.
usually involve a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you're packing the car to the brim.
Yeah, exactly.
Suitcases, strollers, sports gear, all that.
Yeah, so tell me, how much can we actually fit in this spaceship of an MPV?
Even with all 7 seats up,
Okay.
you still have 755 liters of cargo space,
Okay, it's not bad.
which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But here's the cool part. Remember those third row seats?
Yeah, they fold down, right?
They fold flat
Okay.
electronically
Yeah, right.
into the floor, so you get this completely flat loading surface.
Okay, now that's a game changer
Yeah,
for
right.
families.
Makes it so much easier
Yeah.
to load stuff in.
And with the third row down, how much space do you get?
2,554 liters.
Wow. Okay, that's like a small van.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's enough space for a camping trip.
Yeah. Maybe even a small move.
Yeah, exactly.
And the article, they mentioned how easy it is to load and unload those bigger, bulkier items because of that flat floor,
Right, no more Tetris.
Exactly.
With the suitcase.
There's more Tetris.
Okay, so it seems like they've really thought of everything.
Yeah, practicality, versatility, they've got it all.
But one thing that keeps coming up is that their focus seems to be very much on the Chinese market.
Yeah.
So do they have any plans to expand globally?
Well, I mean, their initial focus has been China, but they're making moves. We talked about the X9 being tested in Sydney,
Right.
and they're planning to enter the UK market.
With the G6, right?
Yeah, the G6 SUV
Yeah.
in 2025.
So it sounds like they're not content with just being a Chinese automaker.
Right.
They want to be a global player.
They do.
Yeah, they do it though.
I mean, that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But they've got potential. I mean, their focus on technology, the design, those family-friendly features, it seems to be resonating with people around the world. And they're clearly putting in the work to expand.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they adapt to different markets, different cultures. But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
XPeng is a company to watch.
Absolutely. They're shaking things up in the car industry with their innovative approach and their ambitious vision.
And the X9 is a perfect example of what they can do.
It really is.
Pushing the boundaries of what we expect from an MPV. And it's a sign of exciting things to come.
It is, for sure.
So, all right, let's wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
What are the key takeaways here?
Well, I think the biggest one is that the X9, it's a symbol of how much the car industry is changing.
Yeah.
It really shows the rise of Chinese automakers and their ability to challenge those big names with these really cool and innovative vehicles.
Yeah, and it's not just about like throwing technology at a problem.
Right.
The X9 shows how technology can actually make things better for families.
Whether it's through the driver's assistance systems or those luxury comfort features, the spacious interior, it's designed to make traveling as a family more enjoyable, more efficient, and potentially safer too.
And it's turning heads, not just in China,
Right.
but around the world.
Yeah, in Australia and other markets.
It's clear that XPeng They have global ambitions.
They do.
And they could really change the game.
Uh-huh.
And who knows, maybe one day we will see those flying cars.
Yeah, maybe. That's an exciting thought.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of the XPeng X9.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed the ride.
I did.
Learned some new things along the way.
Sure.
And as always, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
Until next time.